It's an important year for the MLB The Show series, mainly because the players are locked out and this video game might be all we've got until like Memorial Day, if we're lucky. But to the surprise of absolutely nobody, San Diego Studio recently announced that Shohei Ohtani will grace the cover of MLB The Show 22, which releases to the public on April 5th, 2022. Listen, I live in Toronto. I'm as big a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. fanboy as the next Toronto mans, but even we have to tip our caps to Shohei Ohtani's 2021. There's only one choice for the cover of this game. This is no surprise. Nobody's arguing it. Not even Vlad Sr. Get him next year, Vladito. What is fairly shocking is that MLB The Show 22 is coming to the Nintendo Switch in 2022, and the game will feature cross-saves, cross-play, and cross-progression across all consoles. This means you will be able to carry your save data, presumably including your career, your Diamond Dynasty team, and your franchise mode across all platforms by creating an MLB The Show account. So, April 5th release date, Shohei on the cover, cross-platform everything, coming live to a Nintendo Switch near you. That's what we know. Which leads us to what we don't know, and not knowing things is kind of a sport in 2022. It's kind of where we shine, so let's leave the shackles of reality, enter the speculation station, and talk about what we want, what we hope for, and what we secretly know will probably never happen ever in a million years ever. Our MLB The Show 2022 wish list. So before we begin, it's worth noting that I am a PS4 player, and honestly, I might give it a try on the Switch if the reviews are halfway decent. My list reflects that to some extent. For a lot of next-gen players, the consensus number one wish is for MLB The Show to get a strong graphical upgrade on next-gen systems. Simply put, next-gen gamers want the PS5 and Xbox X version of this game to look and feel like a next-gen game. They don't want a PS4 game with different lighting, they want a PS5 game. And hey, if you shelled out money for a PS5, I get it. I did not shell out money for a PS5, so that issue doesn't affect me personally. But let's give the next-gen look an honorary number 0 spot on the list today. The honorary mention. Next-gen users want this game to get a real next-to-gen upgrade. It's fair, you can't argue it. Also, we did a franchise mode-based wish list last year, and I think they went 0 for 5 on my wishes, but I think we could do a whole new top 5 of things we need just from franchise mode that we didn't even get to last year. So watch out for that gimmick early February. I think we're going to crank that list out as well. For now, we are going to ignore franchise mode somewhat and deal with the general gameplay and presentation of the MLB The Show series. We are Operation Sports, I'm Matt Ederer, and here is the MLB The Show 22 wish list, or the top 5 things we're hoping to see in MLB The Show 22. Number 5. Night games with created stadiums and or domes. And oh hey, we are showing some love to next-gen users. Unless Create Stadium is coming to PS4, which I sincerely doubt. As of right now, you can only create open-air stadiums in Stadium Creator mode, and you can only use those stadiums to play day games. This isn't the type of thing to make or break the show for anybody, probably, but it is a pretty big hole in Stadium Creator's resume. Implementing evening or night games or domes would go a long way towards immersing the players in their created stadiums and making those stadiums feel real. All in all, though, Stadium Creator was a good first attempt, really good, and I can only imagine that this mode will continue to be tweaked and improved as the years go by. Number 4. A big update to stadium sounds. Jets flying over, trains pulling in, rowdy fans, God bless America, the authentic stadium songs playing when your team jacks that go-ahead home run in the bottom of the 9th to win the pennant. All of those things are completely and totally missing from this game. The lack of new and exciting audio clips is made even more painful because it kind of seems like Sounds of the Show is out of this game going forward. And that's probably a combination of Microsoft being buzzkills and the fact that people don't really download and upload music as much as they used to 10 years ago. Sounds of the Show, in a nutshell, was like the audio jukebox portion of the game. Users could upload all kinds of audio cues into their game, including but not limited to 3 walk-up songs for every batter, entrance songs for pitchers, cues for errors, steals, home runs, almost every major situation you could imagine. This still exists, or it existed on the PS4 last year. Dedicated gamers would recreate the authentic sounds of every single Major League stadium and most minor league systems, and in fact our own Operation Sports forums have long been the best place on all of the internet to find this and stuff exactly like this. Of course, there's always an awesome MLB Sounds of the Show thread every year on the forums. If Sounds of the Show survives and you play on PS4, it's always worth checking those threads out at the forums. Even if it does survive, the audio presentation needs work in this game big time. Which brings us to our next point. Number 3, we need a new announce team. God bless Matt Vasgersian, Dan Plesac, and Mark DeRosa, but the commentary on the show has been at best very stale for a long time now. Basically, pick your color commentator in your market. I think they would do a better job. Toronto's guy is the main Toronto color guy, Buck Martinez. I think he could do a pretty good job as the color analyst on MLB The Show. He's got a very distinct voice, a great home run call, and if he stuck to a script, I think he'd probably get the best of Buck. I'm sure there are some Toronto people who just threw their phone into an oncoming streetcar at that suggestion, but hey, what can I say? I'm a Buck man. It doesn't have to be Buck Martinez. I think almost anybody would be better at this point than another dose of the tried and tested trio on the show commentary. It's not that they're bad, well, maybe DeRosa's bad, but it's just that we're ready for a change. Maybe keep Vasgersian. I like Vasgersian. Number 2, dynamic player reactions. Credit to Milanista90 who posted this over at the Operation Sports forums on November 7th, 2021. Quote, I'd like for the game to have an attribute like frustration. Players with high frustration ratings would argue bad calls and might lose their head when a bad call ends a decisive at-bat. Example that just happened to me yesterday. I had Votto batting, runners in scoring position, full count, 8th inning in an even game. I take a ball, and the blind umpires call a third strike, ending my at-bat and inning. Votto just calmly leaves the plate. Is that realistic? I don't think so. Hell, managers would be arguing that call too. End quote. I love it. I think that's a great idea, and it could add some much-needed volatility and excitement to the MLB The Show experience. Which it's technically sound. Playing games is always fun. They're good, but it can become very repetitive. Maybe you call the attribute temper, or temperament, or attitude, or something. I like frustration too. Anything that causes different players to react differently to the situations that arise on the diamond is A-OK by me. Great call, Milanista90. Number 1, carryover saves. More than any one other innovation or dramatic return from something taken away from this game, it seems longtime fans want carryover saves back in MLB The Show the most. I'm thinking the new MLB The Show account system, it might mean carryover saves are possible again. I'm just not sure that we will be able to carry over saves from MLB 21 into this new system. My guess is, as of MLB The Show 22, we will be able to carry our saves with us from game to game as we continue down the MLB The Show series throughout the years. I don't think we will be able to import saves from previous games into this new system. I hope I'm wrong about that, I don't know for sure. This whole list has been wild speculation and conjecture, free from the views of moral society or the rule of law, much like baseball in the steroid era. Please put Clemens and Bonds in the Hall of Fame, you monsters. Alright, that's going to do it for us today at the Operation Sports YouTube page, but keep it locked here for the best in sports and video gaming. We've got Prince and Brian Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and video games, making tons of great videos for us on YouTube. Can't say enough about the great content we've been putting out lately. I am super proud to be part of this team. Check out the mothership domain page, operationsports.com. That's where we write our articles. Lots of great, informative, entertaining stuff there. Every single day we got new stuff going up. I write there from time to time as well. Be sure to visit the forums too. That's where the deep, nerdy roster magic happens. And that's what put us on the map. And if you liked me, well, my name is Matt Ederer, and you can hear more of me every week or two around these parts with my top fives and various reaction videos. You can also catch me over at Sunday Night's Main Event Radio, where I'm running a pro wrestling survivor pool, similar to an NFL survivor pool, but with wrestling. And so you pick someone to win at every pay-per-view. If your guy or gal wins, you move on to the next show. If they lose, you're eliminated. You can't pick the same person twice. Last player standing wins, some pretty great prizes. But to play, you'll have to be an SNME Radio patron. So check us out over at patreon.com/SNME Radio to find out more, or just type SNME Radio into whatever podcatcher you've got, and check out our podcast. We have some fun. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for listening. Stay safe out there. Let's go Blue Jays. Please, owners, do a baseball season. Let them do the baseball, because the Jays are going to be very good. Vladito for MVP.